Alright, after listening through a bunch of audio, I'm pleased to announce that the initial draft of a thing I was working on is over, and with that said, I can happily announce now that at some point before the end of the year, there is going to be a Best of Under the Bridge 2024 episode, released before the end of 2025.
Just in time for 2026.
Yeah! Woo! I mean, I kind of wish I could go back to 2024.
Yeah, just a little bit, honestly.
So, yeah, you know, if you ever wanted to spend literal hours of time listening to just us laughing at our own jokes for the most part, you'll be able to at some point.
Yes, indeed.
And if you are that kind of person, I'm so sorry.
Pharrell. Oh no. Oh, I did it right this time.
You did! You did!
Wow, what does it say that I meant to do it the wrong way as a joke, and I did it the right way instead?
I don't know, but either way, welcome to Under the Bridge, everybody.
Welcome to Under the Bridge.
I'm Cody, aka the Scarlet Troll, pronouns he, him.
And I am Greg, aka Greg, also pronouns he, him.
And this is our podcast where we talk news of the pop culture variety. Sometimes comic news, sometimes gaming news, pretty much always movie news, and also pretty much always a movie review. So make sure to ring the like button, smash that bell, and share the video around if you're into that sort of thing, because it helps us out, and we appreciate it.
We do appreciate it with the dubliness of ins.
I think I got that all in one breath this time. I don't remember now, though. Damn.
Yay! Congratulations.
Improvement.
Yes.
But I'm gonna have to bring the mood down right at the start, because unfortunately, Terence Stamp has officially passed away as of yesterday, at the time of recording, August 17th, 2025.
Indeed.
He was 87, which, damn.
I didn't realize he was that old. So, unfortunately, I have less of a reference point than you, probably, because, of course, my main exposure to him was as Zog in Man of Steel.
Did you just say Zog?
I did say Zog.
Well, first, okay, there's a couple of things wrong with what you just said. There's a couple of things. First of all, it's Zod. Second of all, he wasn't Zod in Man of Steel. He was Zod in Superman the movie and Superman 2. Michael Shannon was Zod in Man of Steel, and he's still alive as far as I know.
Okay, I was seeing people around the internet go, rest in peace, Zod. Oh, from Man of Steel? He doesn't look like the same person, but hey, you know, the modern day, like, CGI and makeup can do a lot, so damn, that sucks.
You know, this is gonna be a heartfelt, contemplative retrospective, because I actually have seen quite a few movies with Terence Stamp in it, and now you've soiled it with calling him Zog in Man of Steel.
For what I've been thinking of Buzz Lightyear lately, so I think my brain kind of defaulted to Zurg, and I partially saved it.
Oh, man. Kneel before Zog, I suppose.
Oh, this is going grand. Like, you're trying to have this wonderful celebration of life almost for this man, and I just it up.
Now I have to bleep that, too.
Oh, boy.
This is great. We're off to a phenomenal start.
Indeed.
No, it's really funny because obviously, you know, he was the first cinematic Zod, and while I have problems with Superman 2 and I like it a lot less than Superman the movie, his performance is not one of them.
Okay.
However, he was also Ramsley, the, I think, evil ghost butler in The Haunted Mansion with Eddie Murphy. He was Supreme Chancellor Valorum in Episode 1, The Phantom Menace.
I don't remember that. Granted, I don't remember a lot of Episode 1.
I don't think he was a particularly big deal, but he was also Stick in Elektra.
Really?
Yes.
I still haven't seen that, but I remember you talking about it, so that sounds like fun.
You remember Get Smart?
I vaguely remember Get Smart.
Well, he was Siegfried, the head of Chaos.
Nice. Very good.
At least I think he was the head of Chaos. Pretty sure.
99% sure.
I gotta rewatch that one. And then he was also the mysterious silver-haired gentleman in Last Night in Soho, which I thought was pretty good.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
And obviously, you know, this is only a small smattering of an iconic career full of movies that I haven't seen, but those are the ones that I've seen, and therefore felt like commenting on. So, as always, rest in peace to the people who actually knew him as a person, and not just an actor whose work they enjoyed, which is the category that I fall in.
Indeed.
And Yeah, it sucks. Anyways, I got a little bit of Lord of the Rings news.
Really?
Yeah, you remember how they're making a Lord of the Rings The Hunt for Gollum movie?
No.
We talked about this one. We definitely talked about this. Andy Serkis is directing it.
Oh, okay, that is ringing a little bit of a bell.
It's about Aragorn and Gandalf chasing down Gollum before the Lord of the Rings movies.
Yeah, that's ringing a little bit of a bell.
Yeah, okay, good. Well, Ian McKellen was recently at the For the Love of Fantasy fan event in London, and here's what he had to say. I'll tell you 2 secrets about the casting. There's a character in the movie called Frodo, and there's a character in the movie called Gandalf. And apart from that, my lips are sealed.
Okay, I mean, those are 2 pretty big reveals, though.
Yeah, I mean, I think Gandalf being involved isn't really that crazy, but it sounds like he's actually going to be playing Gandalf, presumably with some de-aging, because now he's older then than he was when he was Gandalf. By, God, what is it, 20-something years? Jesus Christ.
Jesus. That's a pretty substantial difference.
Yeah. But Frodo being back for this, that's a real surprise. Because Frodo would still be back in the Shire at that point.
I'm going to let you fill in the blanks there because I am not up on the Lord of the Rings timeline in the slightest because I haven't read any of the books. I've only seen the original movie, and that was kind of it.
I'm going to assume he's still in the Shire, I think with Bilbo. I think he was living with Bilbo at that point. No, maybe he wasn't. Huh. I'm not a big Tolkien expert either, so all I know is Frodo had never left the Shire by the time of the first movie. So it's probably going to be some kind of thing, I don't know. Actually, wait a minute, we've seen when Bilbo gets the ring. He gets the ring during the adventures in the Hobbit trilogy, I'm pretty sure, so... Huh.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know, but hey, you know what? I'll take Maureen McKellen any day of the week.
Fair enough.
Oh, yeah. Some very interesting news, which is that Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein movie, the one that Netflix is working on, is actually going to have a release in select theaters ahead of its November 7th release on October 17th.
Oh, so they're doing a Glass Onion.
Yes, thank God.
Okay, well, hopefully a bit more widespread than what Glass Onion got.
Probably not. If anything, maybe it's smaller. But if it's anywhere near us, I'm going to try. I'm really going to try.
Fair enough.
And I mean, come on, they're releasing it in October! A Frankenstein movie in October!
Yeah, as I say, that is a little bit perfect for that, isn't it?
It's not fortuitous, what's the... Serendipitous, that's the one.
Serendipity.
Serenity now. That's a different thing altogether.
Are we still in the same postcode?
I don't think we are, actually.
Insert joke about Kansas. Sorry. Sorry.
No, that's pretty good. You have no power here.
You have no power here. Descends into a ball of flame.
Opens a portal to hell. You have no power here.
Yeah.
Now be gone before somebody drops a house on you as well. Huh? That thing?
Apparently in this universe.
And now, a tiny little Marvel update. By which I mean, it's actually a pretty decent-sized update, but it's about something that I'm very mid on. But it's not Avengers Doomsday.
Well, that's good, I think.
Well, it's actually a reveal that Marvel Zombies has had its release date bumped up a little bit. Originally, it was set to come out in October 2025. Now it's been bumped up to September 24th. I don't know if they're releasing all episodes at once or if they did that so that way the final episode releases in October, but I guess we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see indeed.
We also now know that Paul Rudd will be returning for this series as Ant-Man, Wyatt Russell will be returning as U.S. Agent, and Tessa Thompson will be returning as Valkyrie. So that's an interesting addition of characters.
Right.
Honestly, I like the characters that are in this, but I'm really frustrated at how a lot of the multiverse saga has been, hey, here's a bunch of neat characters, and you're not really gonna get any follow-up on them in the mainline universe, have them in what-if episodes, or this Marvel Zombies thing, which, cool, I kinda wanna see them interact with, the broader actual MCU, not...
You'll take your little bits of concentrated tease and you'll enjoy it.
I'm just bitter. And now, a couple of brief updates because I feel like just blazing through the news today, in that returning favorite segment of mine, from the barrel of James Gunn.
Sound effect.
Yeah. Gunn was asked about whether Margot Robbie could be returning as Harley Quinn, and all he said was, that will be revealed down the line.
I mean, I feel like there's no way she's not Harley Quinn. That woman is unequivocally Harley Quinn at this point within pop culture.
I don't know. I mean, there's also animated Harley Quinn, both from her own animated series and from the original Batman, the animated series, although Arlene Sorkin is dead, so you can't really get that Harley Quinn anymore. But I wouldn't be surprised if Margot Robbie is interested in moving on to do something else.
I mean, fair.
Because she's previously said that she thinks Harley Quinn is a character that multiple different people could step into, or something to that effect.
Okay. I guess that raises the question of if they do recast Harley Quinn, who would you think would be a solid villain if it's not Margot Robbie?
Samara Weaving could do a pretty good job. I'm only laughing because of the direct comparisons that she and Margot Robbie look very similar.
I mean, they do, to be honest.
Yeah.
They are also both Australian, so that definitely does not help.
True. No, but seriously, you know who would really make a good Harley Quinn? Lady Gaga.
Wait.
I got you again.
I was curious to say, it's like, that could hold the fuck up. And then we have another awkward sex scene.
Oh,
somehow, don't know how, Joaquin Phoenix just worms his way. That was not a good choice of words.
No, it was not.
Finds his way. Also, fuck. Alright, we're moving past this.
Yes, he does. That's the whole problem.
Yeah. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, no, I have no idea, actually.
Hmm.
So, I guess we'll see about that. He did also mention that I definitely am always looking for a place to put Bloodsport and figuring that out, so we'll see what happens.
Okay.
I'd be cool very happy to bring back Bloodsport.
Yeah, Bloodsport was a good time. I think, there's a part of me, I don't know why it popped up, but there's part of me that would like to see John Boyega as Bloodsport.
Ooh, that would be cool.
That would be pretty neato.
I think he might be talking about specifically Idris Elba's Bloodsport, though. I mean, I'm happy either way. As long as Bloodsport is written similarly, I'm happy either way. But Idris Elba was a damn good Bloodsport. And also, God, every time I think about those two, all I can think about is the one bit in the Suicide Squad where they introduce themselves by their supervillain code names, where it's just, "Hi, Harley Quinn, Bloodsport." Nobody ever does that in these movies. It's all, everybody knows their secret identities, so it's always, Mr. Stark, Captain. It's like, okay, yeah, but like, fucking, like, no, I'm Batman, I'm Green Lantern. Hell yeah, alright, cool.
Nice coat.
In the New 52, Batman stole Hal Jordan's ring right off him.
Oh, really? How did that go over?
Hal just summoned it back to him, but not before asking how he did it, and Batman just goes, "No visible interface, so I assume it runs off concentration. You weren't concentrating."
Hey, not bad detective skills there.
No, pretty good, pretty good. The other update is that, while we still don't know what James Gunn's next project in the DC Universe is, he has said, "I've already finished the treatment for the next story in what I'll call the Superman saga. The treatment is done, which means a very, very worked out treatment. I'm working on that and hopefully going into production on that not too far away from today."
Does it require ointment?
Well done. Good job.
I don't know if treatment is like an in-industry like term for something, but that just seems like an odd choice of word otherwise.
It's the thing that goes before script, as I understand it.
So the script's not done, but it's, I don't know, is this like the concept of the script basically is like finalized?
Yeah. I think it's like an outline. Hold on. Now I have to find out. I probably should have found out before we started recording, but...
Well, granted, you probably weren't expecting me to make a joke about it and then carry on with that.
Nah. A film treatment is a piece of prose, typically the step between scene cards and the first draft of a screenplay for a motion picture, television program, or radio play. It's generally longer and more detailed than an outline, and may include details of directorial style that an outline omits. Okay.
Huh.
Neat.
Obviously, I am not intimately familiar at all with the script writing or the movie making process, but I figured a storyboard would go before a script, wouldn't it? Because a storyboard would be like the story beats of the story. That I use story way too much in that sentence just now.
I think a storyboard comes after the script, because I think a storyboard happens in pre-production when you're like, this is how I want the visuals of a scene to play out, and I need a representation of that.
Oh, okay.
I think. I don't know.
That makes sense.
I'm just a big fan of the sport.
Valid. It's like how I couldn't at all tell you how to tune a race car or anything like that, but I am a close follower of the sport of racing.
Yeah. Because you'd think, being a big fan of the sport, I'd have more knowledge of how it's made. Nope.
No, not at all.
I'm one of those enthusiasts, but at least I don't pretend to be an expert, except I guess I kind of do by having this podcast.
I mean, now, do you go on the internet and tell people that they're wrong if they're wrong about something?
Usually only about Eternals.
Well played.
Thank you. I'm proud of that one. I'm very interested to see what this next Superman saga movie ends up being. If it's not a direct Superman sequel, and it sounds like it's not World's Finest, because I want to know what it's called, because, like, let's say it's Superman and Supergirl. There's not really a name for them teaming up.
Oh, really?
Not as far as I know. I mean, I guess you could call it House of L, but that doesn't really have a lot of punch.
Right. Is there like a super family or anything like that?
There is, but they're not usually called as such. It's more of a indirect thing. And usually the super family, there aren't many characters who I think you could just drop in at this stage.
Okay.
I also find it really funny how, despite the fact that Superman and Batman's teaming up is called World's Finest, and although I think that's also been used for Huntress and Power Girl, so really it's just kind of a Superman and a Batman character teaming up. But despite that, and despite the fact that Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman all teaming up are called the Trinity, I don't think there's a Superman Wonder Woman team name or a Wonder Woman Batman team name without getting into ship names like Super Wonder or Wonder Bat.
As I say, I feel like a Superman and Wonder Woman team up was just called Holy Matrimony at that point.
Ew, no. I hate that pairing.
Wasn't there a whole thing in the comics? Like, wasn't that actually an event where they get together or get married or some shit?
They didn't get married, but in the New 52, there was a whole thing where they had a relationship and it didn't work out. And I think they might be together in Injustice, but...
That doesn't make... I feel like that doesn't make sense given their characters.
Well, no, but Injustice is character assassination to begin with, because it's Superman turning into a despotic dictator and Wonder Woman egging him on. I think she probably also is trying to get with him in that, as I understand it.
Where's Lois in all of that?
Dead! That's the whole reason Superman turns
Oh, that's
evil.
right, that's the reason why he goes crazy. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Because what, the Joker kills her, right?
No, it was Zog. No, I'm kidding, it's the Joker.
Okay, I was gonna say, like, what?
You were right, Zog exists and he killed Lois Lane.
Straight from the Disneyverse.
Oh. So no, I'm looking forward to seeing whatever this is. Don't know what it'll be, but I guess we'll find out.
Right.
Let's go to trailer time.
Let's do trailer time.
It's trailer time again! We've got movie previews to watch! It's trailer time again! So we got a few trailers, all of which I have at least a little bit to say about. There's the trailer that you brought to class, which is Marty Supreme.
Ping pong.
I'm astounded. I had no idea what this movie was going to be when the trailer started, and then as it went on, I went, wait a minute. Are we looking at an A24 distributed remake of Balls of Fury? Is that what this is?
I mean, I never saw the original Balls of Fury, but I was astounded that A24 is bankrolling an overly dramatic tale of a dude playing professional ping pong. I'm just like, this is a crossover that I wasn't anticipating.
And yet I'm strangely fascinated.
It is the kind of thing, especially considering that our lead person is played by Timothée Chalamet, it is the kind of thing where all of those factors combined are just, alright, what is this going to be? What is the end game here?
I'm also curious about that.
Mm-hmm.
Also, Timothée Chalamet is looking unrecognizable almost. I think it's the mustache.
Yeah, a little bit. As I'm watching the trailer and just like seeing this dude operate, I'm just like, who is this? And then they show his name. I was like, Oh, now I see it. Okay, that's good. Whoever put together his costume, whatever, and his makeup and the fake mustache is, like, good at their job, for sure.
You know what?
Mm-hmm.
Looking at that mustache, he could make for a pretty good Gomez Addams.
Ooh. Yeah, I could see that if they did, like, a young Adams or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would work pretty well.
Oh, hey, this is out on Christmas. Merry Christmas to us, I suppose.
I suppose.
Hey guys, sorry, I'm gonna go watch this ping pong movie. Merry Christmas.
Yeah, this ping pong movie that is gonna end up somehow being very thought-provoking and probably at least a little bit depressing.
I jest, but if I didn't do it for Nosferatu, I'm probably not doing it for this one.
Oh yeah. No, 100%.
Then we also got a trailer for Good Boy, which... I should hate it.
They say there's no such thing as an original idea anymore. Well, I give you this shit.
Yeah, it really is a case of there's no original ideas. What about this, though?
Although, to be fair, it is one of those things where if no one has tried to do anything with this concept before, that is surprising. Because how many horror movies over the last, 50, 60 years of writing have there been where there's been at least, one family pet belonging to the family that's being haunted?
That's fair, but I feel like the family pet usually dies pretty early into those.
That's true. That is true.
Like in Pet Sematary.
Sure.
Or Night Swim.
Still haven't seen that. I'm honestly astounded by how seriously this movie seems to be taking itself, because I remember you telling me about the original idea for this film. I'm just like, alright, I'm sure this is going to be decently horrifying, but there's got to be a little bit of, taking the piss here. And this trailer is like, no, we're dead serious about what we're trying to do right now.
No, this is straight up a horror movie from the perspective of the dog.
Yeah, this is a legit horror movie from perspective of the family dog. And what a well-trained dog it is, too. Honestly astounding.
Indy truly is a good boy. Or girl, I'm not sure of the gender of the dog, but...
Right.
I mean, with a name like Indy, I'd assume named after Indiana Jones, but that doesn't necessarily mean anything.
Do not assume the dog's gender.
Yeah, I'm trying not to. I mean, it's called Good Boy, so...
I mean, yeah, by that, it's probably a boy.
Yeah, but who knows? None of our business anyway. When I said I should hate this, it's only because I feel like this feels a little emotionally manipulative in the same way that a constantly giggling baby during the climax of Fate of the Furious is emotionally manipulative.
I was gonna say, there was a little bit of that thought in my brain, too. Because don't get me wrong, this movie does look genuinely interesting, but it is the thing of, it was immediately, I was like, okay, there's parts of my brain that are already like, oh no, don't hurt the dog. Oh, you fuckers.
You already got me, you miserable dingus.
That's fucking cheating.
Anyways, October 3rd. Happy Halloween, everybody, or close to it.
Yeah, indeed.
And then finally, we got a trailer for Osgood Perkins' Keeper, starring Tatiana Maslany, and yeah, I'm on board.
I don't know if I am. Granted, it's a lot easier to talk you into weird horror movies than it is me. On one hand, I do have to say it is kind of interesting having a trailer where it is actually shown from the perspective and monologue of both main characters, which is a little bit different. But even though it's certifiably creepy, it probably doesn't help that I watched this trailer after watching the Good Boy trailer. And I'm just like, okay, that's a little bit hard to beat.
Now, if I may put my probably wrong analysis hat on for a moment.
Oh boy.
You notice that when it divvies the trailer up into two and reveals both of their names, Liz has quotation marks around her and Malcolm doesn't. So I'm kind of wondering if maybe she's not who she says she is, which might also imply that maybe she's the malevolent aspect. I don't know if it's a force, an entity, or what, but... Or maybe just a crazy girlfriend. I have no idea.
There's definitely potential there for sure.
I mean, I think I saw somebody floating up into the sky at one point, so probably some supernatural bits, although that could have been, I don't know, a snare or something that I missed.
Right.
And I will say, having seen Perkins' last 3 movies, I'm definitely excited, because if nothing else, he's really good at vibes.
Right.
Case in point, he directed The Monkey.
Alright, that does win me back a little bit, I will admit.
And even Longlegs and Gretel and Hansel, 2 movies that I wasn't especially in love with, I still really respect what they were going for. So,
okay.
Definitely interested in seeing this. definitely keep an eye out on this. I kind of want to go back. I actually am thinking maybe I'll put on Perkins' first movie, The Black Coat's Daughter, tonight. See how that was. After we're done recording, of course.
Right.
We interrupt this podcast so I can watch a horror movie.
As I say, it's like there's no way we could get away with it without getting copyright struck, but it's like, yeah, we're just live commentary on a movie in audio format.
You can get away with that if you don't include the movie itself.
So an audio format works, but like a video format would not.
It would have to be a thing where we do it as a track that somebody plays over the copy of the movie that they have access to. We couldn't include anything from the movie itself, but...
So we could talk about, I don't know, as an example, Fast and Furious 8. Who am I kidding? I don't own that up physically.
No, the person listening would have to have a copy of it.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, we can't include anything from the movie itself, or we would get hit with a copyright strike to end all copyright strikes, probably.
Ooh, that could be fun, though. We would just have to convince people to watch the movie in question.
Yeah, we'd also need, honestly, to be able to monetize this stuff to make it worth the time necessary, because you see how long it takes just to do Cinema Synergy. Now imagine doing that more than once a month.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I mean, admittedly less video editing in that function, but still, we would have to take the time, in addition to seeing a movie every week for the podcast, we'd also have to see a movie however often we want to do it. It's a whole logistical thing. Anyways, if you're still listening, maybe help spread this around and help us get more people listening, which will make it easier to monetize. So, yeah, you know, wink wink.
Leak and subscribe.
Yeah, that's the one. Kneel before Zog.
Oh, God.
Let's go to box office. No, Zod. Let's go to box office.
Let's do the box office.
No, that's actually one of the bits that I do like from Superman 2 is the president kneeling in front of Zod and just going, my God. And Zod just looks at him and just says, Zod. Just effortlessly correcting him.
Mm-hmm.
God, I love it. Anyways, I saw the highest grossing movie domestically this weekend, last weekend, because it's still Weapons.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, $24.45 million domestic weekend, $88.5 million domestic total, $148.8 million worldwide against a $38 million budget. So this is shaping up to be a pretty good success.
As I say, that's a big profit for sure.
I love to see it. I like that this is an original idea in horror that is gaining traction, because hopefully that'll lead to more of these getting greenlit. More new stuff. Not just remake or reboot or reimagining or whatever the fuck the live action versions are.
Fair.
Nobody 2, the movie that we saw, that actually took 3rd place.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, it's sitting at roughly $5 million domestically for this weekend and in total, and $14.25 million worldwide, against a $25 million budget, so it does have a ways to go before it starts seeing profitability.
I was ready to say it's like this somehow has $100 million budget.
Not that bad. Not that bad.
Yeah. Well, what was the budget of the original movie?
Ooh, that's a great question. 16 mil.
What do you mean this came out in 2020? Jesus Christ, it came out in 2021.
Yeah, it did.
Oh, that hurts.
It was before I was even doing... No, it was after I stopped doing the monthly movie awards, but before I started doing the podcast. Part of me wants to put the monthly movie awards back up and off of private, but also the audio quality in them is shit.
Okay, I thought you were going to say you want to do them again. I'm just like, okay, you're on your own on that one.
No, I don't have that in me. I mean, they didn't take that long to do, so... Who knows?
It was more so as that there's no way, especially now that I can commit myself to watching movies that frequently.
Oh no, you wouldn't have to. I would just want you around for the video. But anyways, that's neither here nor there.
Also, real quick before we talk about the movie, I wanted to mention this just because there was nowhere else for me to plug this in. Are you familiar with an Indian actor named Ajit Kumar?
No, I'm not. Why?
Apparently he's a very noteworthy actor in Bollywood. He has starred in 63 films, and apparently he's a part-time racing driver, and from what I understand, really bad at it.
Huh. Okay.
There were a couple, I think he races in either World Challenge of Europe or World Challenge America, which are like GT racing series, and I was seeing people like kind of talk about the man, and the general consensus seems to be from both like spectators and people who work in the series is that this dude cannot drive a race car to literally save his life. but he's also genuinely one of the nicest people involved in motorsport.
Oh, that's tragic.
Yeah, it's just like all the correspondence I had seen, it's like apparently whatever team he was working for or has worked for, there's several different levels of GT cars, like GT4, 3, 2, and 1. GT3 cars are the top-of-line GT cars nowadays. Apparently, he used to drive for a team that they straight up told him, you cannot go into one of our GT3 cars because you're going to crash it. But at the same time, people who have interacted with him at racetracks at the paddock just have nothing but good things to say about the dude. So I'm just, man, that's a sucky dichotomy to be stuck in. But of course, it also got me to partially dive into a little bit of the rabbit hole of actors who were also racing car drivers, the most noteworthy one being Patrick Dempsey.
Isn't Frankie Muniz one of them?
Yeah, Frankie Muniz races in the ARCA series. I believe he's been racing this year in either the NASCAR Truck Series or the Xfinity Series, one of those two.
Interesting.
Depending on which series he races in. He races in the second or third top-ranked stock car racing series in America. And I haven't really kept up with his racing career that closely, but he has actually won a few races in lower series. I'm just, okay, this is cool. I'm glad he's successful, but I did not have Malcolm becomes a race car driver on any bingo card I could think of.
The crazy thing is, I know we've talked about this before, and I don't remember what would have possibly triggered it, but...
Yeah. Well, like I said, it's like, again, because I started going through that, and I was reminded of Patrick Dempsey, because the man who ends up being the crazy motherfucker in Thanksgiving was at one point, in all but name, a works factory driver for Porsche Motorsport, and went to race at Le Mans several times for them. There's even a little commercial that Porsche did with him and two other drivers simulating driver swaps at every single bit of a morning routine. It was funny, but kind of cringe.
Anyways, if that little segue, I think that's kind of an indicator of where we're at with Nobody 2, at least for me.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, it's fine.
It is fine. So I remember us both going, it's fine. I think we both were kind of like, the pacing of it felt kind of off, like it was supposed to be a little bit longer. But then I slept on it, and I woke up the next day and went, I still maintain that the pacing is off on a couple points, and it felt like it was supposed to be longer. But it is impressive how much they're able to kind of put a complete package of a movie, of a story at least, into a pretty tight 90-minute timeline.
No, yeah, that's impressive.
Yeah.
I don't hate it. I've got it in the this is decent tier I finally settled on.
Okay, because I know we were kind of talking about that, because it's a thing of, I was of the opinion, like, this movie is stupid. Nobody One is stupid, but this movie's fucking stupid. But it's not terrible.
Yeah, no, I'll happily watch it again at some point. I'm just not in a particularly huge rush.
Right.
So the premise is that Bob Odenkirk is once again playing Hutch Mansell, who used to be a quote-unquote auditor for the government, by which he was an auditor for the three-letter agencies, the last person anybody wanted to see. He killed a lot of people. But
oh yeah,
he eventually decided to settle down and have a family, and then circumstances draw him back into the life. So now in this movie, he's back on the job because I guess his former bosses picked up multiple millions of dollars of debt he racked up, causing chaos in the first movie. But his very tight work schedule is causing a wedge between him and his family, so he decides to take a break, and then mayhem ensues, because one thing I do like that they kept from the first movie is that Hutch is really good at killing people, but otherwise he's kind of a fucking useless moron.
He's bad at thinking things through long term. It is very evident in this movie that Hutch is bad at considering the consequences of his actions.
It does kind of illustrate why he went cold turkey on no more violence and no more killing people, because once he dips a toe back in there, it kind of overrides everything else.
Yeah. And don't get me wrong, there is some wonderful things that come from that. We get some wonderful, as I have described it before, street justice, but he doesn't know how to take himself from the streets sometimes.
Yeah, and to his credit, he doesn't really pick fights that aren't justified in this one. The inciting incident is minor, but it is one where if I were in his shoes, I would probably do the exact same thing.
I would at minimum be extremely tempted to do the exact same thing.
But there's a whole part that I don't get, which is after the first incident, he just stays?
Yeah, that was the part that was kind of weird because it's pretty... At that point, he's picking up that it's like, something's off about this town. Oh, fuck it, I'm here anyway. I'm gonna stay with my family. I'm just like, no, you should probably go. Tom Hanks' son is telling you to leave.
Yeah. No, Colin Hanks is in this. He is a pretty despicable cop.
Yeah. I feel like there's a joke somewhere here.
There's a joke somewhere there. I
am too tired to think of it.
something, but, ups tautology.
Yeah, I don't know, it's like he plays a pretty despicable cop. He's also an actor in this movie, but that doesn't work. That just is the same.
That just makes him sound like an asshole.
Yeah, which from what I gather, he's not an asshole.
No, I don't think he is.
Yeah. Yeah, no. He was one that I was surprised to see. I'm like, why the fuck is Tom Hanks' son here? Why?
It feels like there's a grimier element to the first movie that's missing in this one.
Mm-hmm.
Which makes sense considering the setting change and that this is all taking place in what is ostensibly a water park, the one place that Hutch's dad ever took them on their only family vacation, and therefore he has good memories of it and wants to use it to make good memories with his family. Mm-hmm. But, I don't know, I feel like some of that dingier feel was part of the charm of the original Nobody. It was still kind of goofy, don't get me wrong, but this one goes up to 11, as they'd say in Spinal Tap.
Yes. Potential future cinema synergy?
Maybe, but that's also the same month as the latest idea that I had.
Oh, fair enough.
And also, I don't know, I kind of feel like doing something on an explicit comedy is just gonna make our review of Spinal Tap 2 redundant.
Valid.
But that's neither here nor there.
Mm.
So they got pretty much everybody back for this. Connie Nielsen's back as his wife, Becca.
Mm-hmm.
I think the kids are still the same actors. It's been 4 years. It's kind of hard to tell by recognition, you know?
Yeah, especially since, at least in the previous movie, I don't feel like they were as much a part of the center stage as they are in this film.
Mm. Oh, yeah, Gage Monroe and Paisley Catarath are both back as Brady and Sammy. Cool, that's neat.
Mm-hmm.
Colin Salmon is back as Hutch's handler, the barber. Also, Christopher Lloyd and RZA are back. That's fun.
Yeah. Oh, God, RZA is... I think we'll get to it later, but RZA does stuff in this movie that only works because it's the RZA doing it.
Yeah. On the flip side, I'm happy to see Christopher Lloyd again, but he also feels really underutilized for how much he's in the movie.
Yeah, he does.
And I get it, because it's Christopher Lloyd, and he's getting up there in years. I mean, he is, good God, 86.
He's 86?
He is 86.
Oh, I did not realize that. Okay.
So I'm not overly surprised that he's not especially present, but it still feels like kind of a waste to have him in so much proximity-wise, but not do a lot.
Right.
And then we also got John Ortiz as Wyatt Martin, who operates Plummerville, the town/park that Hutch brings his family to.
Right.
Oh, hey, he was in the Fast and Furious movies.
As who?
Arturo
Braga?
Braga?
Wait a minute. Oh, he was the antagonist in Fast and Furious 4. Oh, that's right. No, he does show up in Fast 6, like, technically speaking.
Huh.
Yeah. What a strange film franchise. That's all I can say as someone who has watched all 9 movies and the spin-off film.
I've only seen, 6. 7 if you include Hobbs and Shaw.
As I say, I'm surprised I've convinced you to watch that many of them.
I know, and it's so crazy that I've seen the first 3 and the latest 3.
I haven't showed you 4.
I haven't seen 4, 5, 6, or 7.
Yeah. 4 might be the most boring one out of all of them. If you can believe that.
That's promising.
That's also where we first get Gal Gadot as well.
Oh, joy. Anyways, back to Nobody 2.
Movie list?
Back to Nobody 2.
Nobody 2.
We've also got Sharon Stone playing Lendina, who is ultimately the one pulling the strings behind Wyatt, head of a big criminal syndicate, and a very mean lady.
A very mean lady indeed.
And I feel like she was a better antagonist in Blue Beetle?
That's right, she was the main bad guy in Blue Beetle, wasn't she?
Yeah, she was Victoria Cord, Ted's sister.
Hmm.
I think I liked her better in that one. I mean, it's not a bad performance, but the character isn't really given enough substance to actually feel that menace. There isn't really a point for the number of times she's face to face with somebody where I'm like, why are you letting her just fucking kill her?
Yeah, it's a thing of, I don't know if we'll talk about it more, but the movie does a thing with her where a lot of the things that are supposed to give us an idea of what kind of character she is mostly stuff spoken by other characters and not stuff that she directly does. She, of course, in her moments does the kind of stereotypical villain stuff, like, ordering her men to kill people, being ultra violent to one specific person, showing bits of cruelty to everyone but her French bulldog.
What a good dog.
What a good dog. But there's not much from the character itself that really reinforces, oh, you are a piece of shit. At least nothing more than just like kind of the base level. I think, as much as I hate to say it, because it requires me to talk about 2016 Suicide Squad.
Oh no.
An example of what I'm kind of thinking of is Amanda Waller in that movie. Because everyone in the movie tells you how much of a piece of shit she is. But she does go out of her way multiple times to demonstrate how much of a piece of shit she is, and it sticks. It's one of the few things in that movie that honestly sticks. This movie is definitely trying to stay very contained within its time frame, but I do feel like making it so that there's a reason to hate Lendina. I almost called her Lambita. That's kind of one of the things that's lost out from trying to stick
Her name
to that
is
schedule.
Zog.
Her name is Dog. Your name is Toby.
No, I said Zog.
Oh, I thought you said her name was Dog.
No, her name is Zog.
Oh, sweet Jesus. Yeah. Yeah. I hope that my ramble there makes sense.
No, because it really is a problem of her character is cruel and vicious to the point of being self-destructively stupid, where it strains credibility that she's gotten as far as she has.
Yeah.
Because there are certain actions she takes where it's a case of, you can't possibly do this every single time, because if you did that, you wouldn't have any fucking business. So...
Yeah.
I don't fucking know.
Yeah. Her character's whole thing, honestly, is being the spectacle of pure evil. And it's a thing of, yeah, from an action movie perspective, it works, but it's like, the movie establishes, like, yeah, this woman's been doing this shit for, like, decades. I'm just like, someone would have killed you and your hench people at some point if this is your MO anytime you come across someone you don't care for.
Yeah.
At some point, someone just wouldn't be like, alright, I'm sick of your shit, and just, like, shot you in the head.
I don't know, I feel like complaining about the villain was most of what I had that was of any real substance, because, I mean, the action scenes are still fun. Hutch is still discovering new and exciting ways to kill people. That's definitely good.
Yeah. He's very creative at killing folks, or at the very least laying down some hardcore discipline, street discipline, to the ones who need it.
I'm also kind of... It's interesting to me that at the start of the movie... you know what, this might be a spoiler, I don't actually know.
This is the part where we start the spoiler section?
No, I think I've got at least one other thing that's not a spoiler, which is that I like how the family dynamic is evolving, but I'm a little weirded out that for all the focus they put on the rising tensions between Hutch and Brady, because Hutch is trying to convince his son to settle things without violence, and Brady's basically just like, no, bullshit, your way...
Yeah! Yeah!
Your way gets shit done, and you of all people do not get to tell me not to do things violently, and he's like, that's probably fair, but...
Yeah, I was like, I did enjoy that his son did call him out on that, honestly, because it's like, there's better ways to do this. Dude, no, you are not the person to say that.
It feels like his relationship with his daughter is constantly understated. In the sense of, we don't really get an awful lot of her reaction to this, and she doesn't seem to really be on board with all the violence, or at least she's not actively participating in and condoning it like Brady is. So it really does turn into a situation of, okay, why are we also not delving into how she feels about her dad's killed a lot of fucking people?
There's a part of me in seeing her in the movie thinks that like she might not be aware of how bad it is, because through the movie we definitely know that Hutch's wife knows. We definitely get hints that the son knows, but I feel like they're trying to keep it from their daughter. At least that's the vibe I got.
That's interesting. I never really considered the fact that she might not know, because I kind of figured after the whole... No, because I feel like there were a bunch of bodies left in the house after the Russians first attacked his house once he beat up that one guy on the bus. So I feel like she has to know. But I guess I don't think they ever explicitly show Hutch telling them about it. So...
Right.
I guess it's feasible she doesn't know. It just seems very unlikely if Brady knows that she doesn't.
Or, at the very least, maybe it's a thing of, like, she's not aware of the extent of it all.
Maybe.
Because my only guess at that point would be, like, maybe she knows it's like, alright, Dad is capable of killing people, because who knows? I need to rewatch the first Nobody more than anything else. Because the only thing I remember from that movie, in all honesty, are all the genuinely funny bits of Odenkirk monologuing about who he is to, like, whoever he's captured, turning back to the person and they've, like, died from bleeding out.
Yeah, that's really funny.
That's, like, the main part of the movie that I remember, so I'm like, alright, I do need to actually sit down and rewatch this film. Because now I'm kind of, like, spitballing from bits and pieces that I barely remember to begin with.
Yeah, I will say, having recently rewatched the first movie, it also feels kind of disappointing that they don't really delve into Hutch's evolving relationship with his daughter in the wake of him returning to his career of killing people, considering that he was clearly very fond of her in the first movie, and she was still very fond of him, even after Becca and Brady have kind of started giving him the cold shoulder because he didn't help out when the house got attacked. She still wants to cuddle up with him on the couch because she can't sleep, and it's her kitty cat bracelet going missing that prompts him to go on this fucking rampage in the first place.
Right.
Even though it turned out she just dropped it behind the couch.
Connie, you need to be more aware of stuff like that and think about where you put it. I just killed so many people trying to find your bracelet.
I mean, to be fair, he didn't start killing a bunch of people because of the bracelet, but that is what kickstarted him going on the crusade that led to him killing a bunch of people. So, it's just kind of weird to me that she kind of is in the background in this one. We also get some more development for Becca, and maybe some... you know what, that's a spoiler. It's a fun development, but it also raises some questions about the first movie.
Yeah, just a little bit.
But all in all, this is still a fun time. I just don't think it's as good as the first Nobody.
Yeah, I feel like as a product, it's probably an improvement, but in terms of, like, enjoyment and all that, it's... no, I would say, again, even though I don't remember a lot of the first one, I did walk away thinking that I enjoyed the first one more overall. But this is still a solid, fun action movie. This is like a full-on, like, turn your brain off 90 minutes of fun action film that will not leave a bad taste in your mouth. Unless you're decently squeamish, I suppose.
Yeah, some of the injuries are... I guess, to be fair, some of the worst ones are more implied than anything.
Yeah, there's definitely a couple of use your imagination kills.
Or they at least avoid showing you the worst of it. But, yeah. No, I mean, it's fine, for the most part. And if you don't want to get spoiled on Nobody 2, make sure to click away in 3, 2, 1. So Becca definitely also killed people, yeah?
Oh, 100%.
Before she and Hutch got married, I mean.
Yeah, no, 100%. And it's definitely clear, kind of going back to what parts of the family know. The whole movie, up until like the last little bit, is implying that... why am I blanking on the son's name?
Brady?
Yeah, that Brady knows bits and pieces about what his dad does. But then, later on in the movie, at the last little bit, Becca, getting worried, looks at a tranquilizer gun that's just casually hanging on the side of a lodge that they're in, and just looks at Brady and goes, "Honey, I'm gonna go for a walk," which it's very clear that is code for something. That she's told him, it's like, hey, if this happens, this is, like, you need to know about some history here. So, yeah, she's definitely killed people, and at the very least was willing to tell Brady about it.
I mean, I don't necessarily know. I think she might have been trying to still hide it from him, because now that I think about it, I guess it's technically possible that Brady also doesn't know about Hutch's past, because in theory he could just be talking about how hypocritical it is to be telling him don't get into a fight after what he did to everybody in the arcade. He doesn't necessarily need to know about what Hutch actually does, but it just feels like they all should know at this point.
Yeah. So one of the things that kind of bugged me about that a little bit too is that there's a particular line that was in the trailers that they cut from the film where Hutch and Brady are in the jail cell. Hutch is telling Brady, he's like, you know, you got to do things better than me, and how I do things is not the way to accomplish things. Now, of course, Brady, completely understandably, just goes like, no, you're full of shit. You're the last person who gets to say something like that. But in the trailer, we get a line from him going, it's like, well, to be honest, I prefer the way you do things as far as getting stuff done.
Yeah. It does kind of feel weird that that got cut. Honestly, there's a lot of lines in the trailer that I think either aren't in the movie or they were basically delivered by other characters. Because I'm pretty sure in the trailer, the explanation that Plummerville was an old bootlegging route was explained by the barber, but in the movie proper, it's actually Harry who tells him that.
Yeah.
Which is really weird to me. And maybe that's part of why this movie feels shorter. Maybe they cut some stuff and reshot some things.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. Well, the time spent shooting was very short.
Yeah, it was only a couple of months.
It was like a month and a half. Or actually, no, a little bit more than a month and a half. Because it began on August 6th of last year and ended in September 26th, so...
That doesn't mean no reshoots, though.
True.
But if there are reshoots, they're not mentioned on Wikipedia, at least, which doesn't mean they didn't happen, but...
Yeah, they might just not been made public.
Yeah. Okay, one detail that I do really like that carries over from the first Nobody is whenever Hutch is trying to tell a story, he keeps slightly misremembering the details and then correcting himself.
Yeah.
Like at the very start, when he goes, yeah, the Corsicans had this weapon. No, wait, it was MP7s.
Yeah, at the beginning of that, where he's like, yeah, the Corsicans who were all armed with Uzis. So it's like, alright, like stereotypical, like kind of like gangster submachine gun. He goes, wait, no. MP7s. It's bull today, aren't we?
But yeah, no, so getting back to the Becca situation, because she, at the water park, there's a shooting game, and she does really well at it, to the point where Brady comments on it. And then when she and Hutch are reminiscing about when they first met, she mentions that he was covered in blood, and apparently that was not a turnoff for her.
Yeah. Just the little hints like that, I'm just like, alright, is this gonna be Blue Beetle all over again? Where they keep on hinting at, like, the grandmother's past, but don't ever expand on it. I'm just like, no. I do need more information about this. Like, you don't
Blue
get to just, like,
Beetle
run away
told
with
us.
this. Well, if I remember right, they told us that she was a revolutionary. She just didn't go, like, full deep into all the stuff that she did as a revolutionary.
Yeah, but at least there we get an explanation. Here, it still remains just kind of implied up until the very end, even as she gets the takedown. Not the full takedown, but she ends up saving Hutch's bacon from Lendina, because I also really like how after going through the whole amusement park of death, Hutch is worn down enough that Lendina's two assistants are basically handing his ass to him on a silver platter.
Right.
And then Wyatt helps him out by shooting one of them, which causes the other to freak out, and then she gets shot while charging at Wyatt. And Lendina's trying to kill Hutch, and then she gets hit with a tranq dart from Becca, and then tries to throw a throwing knife. Becca shoots that with a dart, and the dart also goes right into Lendina's eye through her glasses, which fortunately we don't see too much of, but...
Yeah, but it definitely kills her.
That doesn't kill her. She was still alive when the whole thing blew up.
Oh, that's right, honestly. Yeah, no, you're correct there.
No, the amusement park scene is a lot of fun. The sheer amount of destruction they're able to pull off with tilt-a-whirls and fucking... Well, not a tilt-a-whirl, but was it a Ferris wheel? Whatever it was.
Yeah.
And the ball pit and the strength tester.
No, the whole ball pit thing, because they also show up montages of them setting everything up, and we see Harry, like, putting, like, a anti-personnel mine in the ball pit, and I'm just like, not on your fucking life would I ever be anywhere near that.
Nope.
Which is the point, of course, but even still.
Well, Wyatt had to, like, wade through it to lure them into it, which was pretty funny.
Mm-hmm.
So that's good. We get Christopher Lloyd manning a big fucking gun.
Manning a literal Civil War era Gatling gun. And that was one where, so we get a bunch of exposition about the relationship between Wyatt's father, and Lindina, and how at the end of Wyatt's life he had amassed a massive collection of like weapons and ammo to fight her. And it's a thing of like, alright, I get that. But I do have questions about where and how you got hands on a fully functioning United States Civil War era Gatling gun.
That's a good point.
That I need to know more about.
Also, speaking to the point about Hutch is bad at everything that doesn't involve killing people, his de-escalation tactics suck.
Oh, yeah, they do. I mean, but it's one of those things where he mentions when he goes to de-escalate, it's a thing of, alright, you know what? This is about as good as de-escalation it gets for this man, where he's like, look, I'm just trying to have a good time with my family. I know I fucked up, but y'all are making it worse. Leave us alone, and I promise I'll leave. If you don't do that, I'm gonna fuck up your shit and blow up this warehouse. And it's a thing of, you know, as far as de-escalation goes, that's probably about as good as he gets for him. And then it almost works. It almost works. Until he notices that the cartel and Colin Hanks have kidnapped Wyatt's son.
At which point, he walks away, gets in his car, drives away, drives back, goes in. You don't see what goes on, but you can hear it. At least you don't see all of it. But there's a really nice cut from a barrel on the outside of the building to the inside of the van, where Wyatt's kid is watching this beat down through the windshield. It's fun.
I like to imagine that he's in his car driving away and he's just like, oh, god damn it, I gotta go back for him. He doesn't deserve this. Like, fuck, I was free. I was clear.
And then he's not.
Yeah, no.
To his credit, I do enjoy that as bad as he is at staying uninvolved, Hutch genuinely was not trying to take work with him when he came, and even when Becca has her suspicions, those get disproven.
Yeah. He's trying his best to not go crazy or not be a nobody at this vacation. But it does kind of hark back to what the barber tells him, where it's like, you know, nature always follows you.
Wherever you go, there you are.
Yeah.
That got me thinking about Becca again, and if she is a killer, how come she doesn't have the same... I guess different strokes for different folks, I suppose, is the answer to why she doesn't have the same work-life balance problem.
I don't know, maybe like different agency, or maybe she did something a little bit more unofficial.
Or maybe she's actually out of the game and has not been tempted to go back.
Yeah. Yeah, indeed. It definitely raises questions, too, because there's a whole bit at the end of the film where they're being held by probably the CIA, the two of them, and I guess their newly adopted wolf dog.
Yeah, now they have a quote-unquote wolf dog, who I don't know if is actually one, but he's a good boy.
Yeah, and they're just being held there, and then one of the agents, like, gets a call from his superior, and we don't hear exactly what's said, but we can hear the superior, like, yelling at him on the phone, and the agent's just like, sir, you know I can't let them go. There's so many bodies. Like, he specifically says, it's like, there's so many bodies. And he just yells at him more and just goes, they're free to go.
Get the cuffs for the keys, and they just hold out their hands.
Now, I will say there was a missed opportunity at the last bit of that, because I think one of the agents just asked, like, who are you guys? And I feel like it's a missed opportunity that Becca didn't just sit there and go, a couple of nobodies.
No, but I think that would have been a little too on the nose, so I do kind of like them answering with, we're married. It doesn't really answer the question, but... Huh. And we got a pretty sick katana fight, which I called.
Yeah, that was funny. Because it's the thing of, like, you went, it's like, oh my god, is RZA gonna fight them with a katana? I'm like, that would only work with the RZA, and it would work with nobody else. And sure enough, we get a katana fight with RZA dropping a line at the end and never bring a machete to a fucking katana fight. I'm just like, that is the dumbest shit I have ever heard in my life, and it's perfect because it's coming from this man.
That's the first principle, don't you know?
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean he was in The Dead Don't Die?
Yeah, he was a delivery guy at the beginning of the movie.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. Man, holy shit. That fucking movie.
Yeah.
Well, that trailer more so, like, oh god. Okay, so I feel compelled to give, like, quick lore. When that movie trailer dropped, I was dealing with genuine depression for, like, the first time in my life and figuring out how to deal with it. And I would watch that trailer regularly just to kind of give me something to think about and take my mind off of it because the trailer is completely batshit. And then it's like, it's time for the movie. The movie comes out, me and Cody go to see it, and it's a thing for both of us where we start off really excited and loving it, and then as the movie progresses, we both are just kind of like, oh, this is bad.
Yeah, we did not have a good time at The Dead Don't Die. And this was before...
No.
This was between attempts of doing anything on YouTube. I was just seeing it for the hell of it.
Yeah. It was one of those things where it's just like, man, I've never been so let down by a movie I was so eager to see.
Me just looking over with the news first time?
Right.
I don't know, you got anything else for nobody, too?
I don't think so.
I guess we never answered the question of should you go see it. I mean, yeah.
I'd say so.
There's worse things to see.
It's a dumb, fun action movie that will not leave a bad taste in your mouth by the time you finish it.
Maybe don't bring the kids.
Don't bring your kids.
This is not fun for the whole family.
No, not at all.
But hey, that also means you save on ticket prices, so...
Hey there.
But then you probably have to pay for a sitter, so... Unless you go when you've already got childcare, in which case, hey, but you know what? This segment really shouldn't be about covering every possible scenario in which is this movie worth it, but here we are.
The best way to avoid all of that, don't have children. Just
Wow.
Don't have any kids.
I mean, you're right, but you'd have to say it. Anyways, thanks so much for listening, everybody. You already know what to do, you know when to do it. Tip your servers and pay your fucking writers.
Tip your writers, pay your waitress.
I was trying to be more inclusive, and that's where it tripped me up. I think they're servers now is the proper is the proper term. Next week there was something I was excited for. Oh hell yeah, it's Honey Don't.
Oh right. Oh yeah, no yeah.
Hell yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh right, can't wait for that. I love Drive-Away Dolls. I don't even fucking care what you have to say. I know you liked it too. I'm speaking rhetorically.
I was just gonna say, no, I did like it.
Yeah.
Ploop! Oh, sweet Jesus.
But anyways, regardless of whether or not Tiffany Plastercaster appears in this movie, this has been Under the Bridge with Cody, aka the Scarlet Troll.
And with Greg, aka Greg.
And we'll catch you all next week.
Goodbye, everybody.
Bye!